just before, I just want to say, if you don't destroy the paradigm, he will reproduce himself again and again. The first step is to recognize it. You cannot conquer what you don't confront, and you cannot confront what you don't identify. Then if you don't identify, you just say, well, it's normal, it's the pressure of politics, it's normal because of this or that. You don't recognize the source, because it's an influence, a source that is pushing, is on their mission to reproduce the same pattern again and again. And you need to recognize that in your life. You need to recognize that it's not only a coincidence or like my father, but you need to take it seriously and to identify that. The second step is to renounce that, to have really to turn your back from that, to say, no, you're not going to stay in my life, to renounce this paradigm in your life. If you tolerate something, it's going to stay in your life. It's going to dominate your life. Then it's a real decision. And the third step is to take your position of authority to change that. And after that, we have the 4, 5, 6, 7 step, the Vita formula that we apply, Alan, in our coaching to change and accelerate the change in the people's life. Everybody is talking in the news because politics, it's a lot of pressure and it's tough on their marriage. But in Canada, only 2 prime ministers divorced. You had his father, many prime minister, and now Justin Trudeau. Between that, the prime minister didn't divorce. He is doing the same pattern that his father. And this is why, first of all, first step out in the formula, we need to identify, to renounce, take the decision to be ready to apply all the rest, all the principle to change this paradigm in your life. And I love what you say, Alan, just before. He has 3 kids. Like his family, Justin Trudeau had 1 sister and 1 other brother. His brother died in an accident. We need to recognize pattern, and he was, in his adult age when he died. You don't want to go through the same pattern with your children that happened in your family and the family before. You agree with that, Alan?
Mm-hmm. Like I said before, there's patterns in the family that if you do not stop those patterns, there's paradigms, and you're not conscious, aware of the spiritual realm, because it's a synergy between the 2 worlds. There's something spiritual that's coming, influencing you to do that action, to think that way, to do whatever. It's a spiritual realm affecting the natural realm. When you go to your doctors, you'll say, was it running in a family? Cycles always run in families. So everything we think and we are, our whole identity is the blood, our DNA, our cells, it's who we are. It comes from where? From generations. And if we got to change that, we're going to have to do different stuff, Martine, just to shift that, to bring that to another level, to become somebody else, to become another identity, because in that area.
Exactly. And you just said something very good. To become somebody else, to reinvent herself, because you don't want to be the placebo of the generation. You don't want to live the life of the generation before you want to live your own life, your own destiny. And you said something good. We can see many places that the voice is in the blood. We see that in Genesis 3. We see that the science proved that with epigenetic now, that the memory, of the past in the blood transmitted to generation, this voice that is talking to you, that try to reproduce the same emotion, feeling that the generation, same decision, same pattern, same level, same obstacle, because this influence work inside and out. He work inside of you and he tried to reproduce the same problem outside, because he's under mission to keep the same cycle in your life. And Alan, this is what we realize, and our eyes open, because you were not facing the same problem than me, same challenges than me, and I was not facing the same battle than you, because we're coming from 2 different families, 2 different backgrounds, but we're doing the same work, same life, same thing. But we had to be aware of these voices in our blood that try to influence and talk to us to destroy our success. And this is what we see with all our clients.
Every family sees these cycles pop up. At one point, it could, some is maybe in their 20s. Everything was okay. Before that, there is cycles. Everything is cyclical. God created that way. We've got to face these cycles and to reverse to stop those cycles to a blessing.